And I think that's basically the overview. Do you have any questions?
Addition, do you in any way separate your business face and your personal face? And do you worry about your crazy roommate from college showing up and mingling with your business contacts?
Yeah, and that's a very good question. And yes, I would say, well, let's say Twitter first, because it kind of depends on the medium. Recently at Verizon, we kind of went through a refresh for how we use Twitter. We have official, our VZW, those are kind of our official company-facing Twitter accounts. So that, even though you do incorporate a human element into it, that is primarily business focused. The people I follow, the people I would respond to would be all related to Verizon. Now, I also have a personal Twitter handle. Now, I may, tweet about Verizon on occasion. That's where I follow, it might be shopping, mom bloggers, shopping bloggers, sports people. So I think some separation in that instance is good. Because then you can tweet freely. I think you still want to be careful about how you're representing yourself using any social media outlet, because you're putting it out there, and even if it's not tied to your company, it could come back to reflect on you. But I also can follow, I follow friends that are on Twitter too, so some separation there is good. I think with Facebook, I have a personal Facebook page. I use that to post pictures of my son and comment on, whatever I'm interested in commenting on, and then we utilize the Verizon Facebook page. So there's a way to separate those out. And I think, for a business owner, you're not looking to utilize these personally, that you would want some separation. So you can have your personal Facebook page, but you can also have your company Facebook page. So then the crazy college roommate isn't posting, those pictures from 20 years ago on your company Facebook page. But it's definitely something that I think it's a new reality of being very careful about the information that we put out there, because it lives out there. Even if you delete it, it's gone out there. So that was a very good question. Any other questions? No other questions? Yes?
You establish corporate guidelines on social media usage. Would you give us a little background on things that as businesses we need to watch out for?
Yes, and I think, I've worked on both the PR agency side and then on the corporate side. I worked for a PR agency back several years ago, really when, the need for social media guidelines. I think companies were more and more realizing, hey, that's something that we need to control. And we recommended that to any company that was getting involved in the social media space, that you have guidelines. At Verizon we do have guidelines, both for people who are authorized as spokespeople, to comment as official spokespeople on behalf of the company, and then also guidelines, for people that are utilizing social media on their own, but may talk about, Verizon is the place they work, they're excited about our products and services. You want to be sure that people aren't sharing confidential information, company information. It seems basic and something common sense, but again, it's this new reality of information sharing, and I think sometimes people don't realize what they share, in these public forums. So I think putting together guidelines on the types of content that can be shared that's related specifically to the company. Now, your guidelines are going to relate to the company. You also hope that people are utilizing social media in responsible ways anyway, but really you're going to tie it to how it affects your company. I can say right now we have a very dense set of guidelines. We're really looking to streamline that, make it a little more readable. But I think you'll find, you can look online and find some great resources for guidelines. next, but I think that's definitely something that you want to put in place so that your employees are clear on, you know, the expectations of use when they're utilizing social media on behalf of the company. It can be a great tool, and you want people to be out there creating that buzz online, but you want to be sure it's not just a free-for-all.
You mentioned maybe a couple of those resources.
You know, give me your contact information and I'll follow up with you. I don't have them listed now, but definitely we can get that information to you if you want to come up afterwards. Yes.
Go back to that last slide about Foursquare, Delicious, Tumblr. What does each one mean? What is the usage of that? How does that help us?
Well, they're all a little different. I would say, so to go back, we can talk about, so Twitter, Facebook, Foursquare, YouTube, which is actually not listed on here, Tumblr. These are kind of the, and I would say Tumblr is the smallest of those, that's why we didn't talk about it on a separate slide. Those are really your key tools for utilizing social media. These, and LinkedIn as well. Some of these others are, I would call them supplemental, you know, secondary ways that it's not so much about putting out information about your company, but maybe Delicious, it's a bookmarking site, so you're sharing websites, articles,